Hello friends. What I'm about to tell you today is not real history. This is a fictional alternate 2026 world. But the story is so close to reality that it feels frighteningly possible. After Venezuela, now America's next target is Cuba, a tiny island just 145 kilometers away from Florida, and the last surviving symbol of communism in America's backyard. Part 1: The Warning. In this fictional timeline, Donald Trump suddenly posts on social media, Cuba must make a deal before it is too late. No oil, no money, no lifelines. Global markets panic. Because everyone knows one thing. Cuba survives on imported oil. And its biggest lifeline was Venezuela. But Venezuela has already collapsed in this timeline, which means Cuba is now alone. Part 2: Why oil is Cuba's weak point. Cuba produces almost no oil of its own. 85% of its energy comes from imports. In our fictional world, the moment America controls Caribbean shipping routes, Cuba's power plants start shutting down. Havana goes dark. 6 to 12-hour blackouts become normal. Hospitals shift to emergency generators. Fuel rationing begins. People start whispering, is this the end of the Cuban Revolution? Part 3: The Secret Venezuela-Cuba Deal. For decades in this alternate reality, Venezuela used to secretly send oil to Cuba. In return, Cuba provided cyber surveillance teams, intelligence officers, doctors, internal security advisors, a silent alliance. But when Venezuela falls, that pipeline dies overnight, and Cuba becomes the next domino. Part 4: America's Demands. In this fictional universe, Washington delivers a 4-point ultimatum. 1. Release political prisoners. 2. Cut ties with Russia, China, Iran, and Venezuela. 3. Allow U.S. companies into telecom, tourism, and energy. 4. Shut down Cuba's foreign intelligence networks. In short, give up the revolution or lose the island. Part 5: The People's Reaction. As oil ships stop arriving, food prices explode, tourism collapses, currency loses half its value. Young Cubans start fleeing to Florida in fishing boats. On the streets of Havana, people chant, not hunger, not fear, we want electricity. The Cuban government says, we will never surrender. But history tells us something else. Part 6: The Final Question. So in this fictional 2026 world, 3 futures are possible. Cuba bows down and makes a deal. Cuba resists and collapses economically. Russia and China step in, triggering a new Cold War in the Caribbean. Friends, the scariest part? None of these outcomes require a single missile. This is not war by weapons. This is war by economy. Friends, this was a fictional alternate reality. But if geopolitics continues the way it is today, this story might not stay fiction forever.